Try to record this again, guys. In the past, because I have a Mac, GoToWebinar has not been very successful, but let's hope today that we have our recording for those who can't join us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's not fair to those who came online on time to delay. So what I want to do just quickly is I am using my mic and speakers, so if you can just type in quickly and let me know that everybody can hear me clearly. That would be great. That you can hear. It's clear. It's loud. Just type right into the chat bar there, or the Q&A bar in front of you. If you can let me know. Great. Thanks, Jane. Okay, so I don't need any, as long as I know that a couple of you can hear me. Perfect. Thanks, Randy. So that's fine, guys. We'll move ahead. While we're waiting for people to come on, I'll just go over a couple things, housekeeping items here for us. First things first, if you have questions, and I hope that you all do, go ahead and you can just start typing them into the question box there, and I'll take them as they come in. So go ahead and if you have any questions, start typing them in. Just some updates from our side. We've planned some of the year out of what we're going to be doing with Intern Profits, but we want to know what you want. We're finding that some webinars we have great attendance. We're finding some of them, it doesn't seem like you're of interest in that. So we only want to put on educational opportunities for you guys that you want. Do you like these Q&As? Are they helpful? Do you want me to keep doing these? Do you want them more frequently? There for a while, we were doing them every 2 weeks, and it wasn't working. Attendance wasn't as what we had hoped. So I've gone back to every 4 to 6 weeks, and it seems like that would be the best case scenario to get the most questions on a call. But if you guys want these more often, let me know. Is there something you need help on? Is that, should we, the easy intern assignments, do you want something new? Is there something in the marketing arena that you want? Anything in the legal arena, accounting, whatever. We need to know what you guys want, because we want to put on webinars and educational opportunities that are going to help you grow your business and your internship program. Likewise, anything new you want added to our products, we'll take that into consideration. So please give us some feedback. If you come up with anything while we're on the call today, you can go ahead and add that to the Q&A box as well, so that we can capture it today and we can take some action. So yeah, please keep us posted on anything that you feel that you want more information on, more educational opportunities on. That's what we're here to do. Next thing is we do have a webinar coming up. It's going to be this Thursday night. It's all things Groupon. So I say all things Groupon because everybody more or less knows what Groupon is, or daily deals. So what it is we have Mark Horn is a business colleague of ours. He's actually quite a brilliant programmer. We spoke to him about doing some programming work for us in the past related to Intern Profits, and got to know him. And he actually has put together a lot of local Groupon sites. So those are sites where it's like Groupon format, but it's more local based. So he's going to show you how you can create your own daily deal site in your own marketplace. You're going to learn a lot about daily deals. So if you're even just curious to learn more, he'll share with you a lot of information. So that's going to be this Thursday night. You'll be getting emails on that. You should have, already gotten a couple emails. So just put that on your radar if you're interested, and I hope you will be, on how daily deals work and the Groupon business model. We're always still looking for success stories. I would love to feature some of you on these calls, the Q&A, just to come on and say, this is what I've done. This is the successes I've had with interns. This is how it's working in my business. So if any of you would like to put your hand up and be on one of these calls with me the next time we do a Q&A, just to give us a success story or a case study, that would be great, so that I can share it with our community. And I think you guys learn the most when we share amongst the community. So just let me know if you're interested in doing that. The last thing is Justin and I have taken on a few business consulting clients, everything from writing for them to helping them with their affiliate model. We do that on a case-by-case basis. We have a couple people in our community that we're working with now. So if you're interested in that, obviously let us know. You can just email us at support@internprofits.com, and we can talk about what your needs are and how we can fulfill that. We also are in the process of finalizing a partnership with a company who's going to help you do done for you marketing utilizing interns. So just keep your ears open for that. It's a marketing firm, actually. It's a really interesting business model and a company that we've been approached by that would work really well with intern profits and alleviate some of the concerns that some of you guys have, which is managing interns. How do you do it? So that's just sort of a little update of what could be coming down the pike. We're finalizing some of the relationship and partnership ideas. So be on the lookout for that. But that's a bit it for me this morning. I don't want to take over the time for you guys to, have your questions. It's your time, not mine. So I'm just going to start diving in quickly. Obviously, our homepage here, and we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, any way to connect with us. Send us a message. We also obviously have our member site that most of you are already a member of. If you're not, you can go ahead and become a free member today very easily by going to members.internprofits.com. And this is what's behind the members site as it's logging in. I'll show you. But there's loads of free information in here. Some of it's paid, some of it's free. So I'm just going to log in because a lot of times during these calls, I have to reference some things in there. So let's jump in. I've got somebody who needs me to call them today. Eric or E-Rock, Christopher, I'll have someone give you a ring. If there's something I can help you with right now, please go ahead and type it in because that's what I'm here to do. If it's a personal matter, that no problem. We'll have a person call you today, but I'm here and I can answer some of your questions if you need them. Callan says, would it make sense to hire a management intern, one who's looking for that in a career, to help me manage the internship program and interns? I thought about having one of my current interns renew their internship because they would be more the ideal candidate, but I could be waiting forever. What would you suggest? Callan, a lot of people hire an intern, a lead intern, a management intern, project management intern, especially when you have a very large project and you're managing several interns. So this would be someone that you would hire, and it's a great idea if you have a current intern who would like to stay on and they've already proven themselves to you that they're a good intern. That's your perfect intern to see if they want to move up in a role as a project management intern. It's usually somebody who either wants to go into consulting themselves or, as you mentioned in here, somebody who's looking to be who's got a background and they want to go into HR possibly. That would be a good person. So somebody who wants to do management consulting or HR, that would be your ideal candidate. And a lot of companies do that. A lot of times it just happens because you end up getting a star intern and you have a group of 7 interns. When we launched Intern Profits, we had an intern who helped us. We actually just saw him last week. He's now started his own business. He was a great intern and he'd been on the project for a while. So he was with us another semester. So we let him manage the project with the other interns. So the interns were actually reporting to him and then he was reporting to us because he knew exactly what was going on. He was managing the project. He'd been working on the project. So we let him do that and it worked out really well all the way around. So yes, it does make sense to hire a management intern, especially if you have a larger project that you're working on. You've got 3 or 4 interns reporting to you. If you haven't hired an intern yet, if you haven't even hired one single intern, don't even get caught up in the I got to hire a management intern. First things first is hire an intern and manage them yourselves because you're going to learn you need to be able to manage them before you hire somebody to manage them. It sounds like common sense, but a lot of times people get caught up in the fact of like, well, I got to hire all these interns and I've got to find someone to help me manage them because there's no way I can manage 6 interns because I've got this project going on. First things first, if you haven't hired an intern, hire one intern and then go from there. And Callan, I don't know what your situation is, how many interns you have on board right now. Maybe you want to I'll ask some follow-up questions. But if you haven't even hired one intern, get one intern on board first and then go from there. Let's see. Okay, Jane. Great. I loved hearing more information from you, Jane. So Jane Elvis has been with us for quite a while. She's gotten interns. She says, guided by us. Thank you. I took them to a different road. She says, quote unquote, my way. Now I'm opening a foundation this month. I would like to follow your training. So, Jane, it sounds like you, not sure what you're asking. Is it possible to be handle out from me? Do you want us to, are you asking for a possible partnership that you want to start a foundation to help people hire interns or to help interns? Tell me a little bit more, Jane, and we can talk about it. I think it's great. I know you've had some success. You sat on the sidelines for a while and didn't hire an intern, and then all of a sudden you did last summer, and it really just changed your business. So I love that story. And maybe Jane, if you want, we could bring you on again and have you tell that story. So, Jane, share with me a little bit more about what you're looking for. Um, okay, so Callan, you have two interns currently. Okay, so if you're ready to hire another intern, you've got enough work for one more intern. Yeah, go ahead, Callan, and hire another intern or promote one of your current interns into a management position is probably even better, and then hire another intern to do what that intern was doing. I'm curious if you're a one person shop, or if you have other employees or contractors working with you and could possibly, for instance, we've hired interns in the past who've done some, website maintenance and worked on our websites and our blogs. And sometimes we've had them report to our web development contractors. So that's another thing that you can do. So you're just, okay, so you're clarifying, Callan, that you're just one person. Um, yeah, then if you're just on your own, go ahead. I don't, I think obviously you need to have the conversation with your interns. Do they want to stay? Can they stay? If you're going to promote one of them, can you compensate them in some way? Because if they're that good, can you possibly provide them a stipend or a bonus or something to incentivize them to stay? Because if you find really good interns, I suggest that you hold on to them. And if you can compensate them even just a little, especially if they're in college, in some way that possibly it's if you're doing, let's just say you're in uh, you're consulting and you're already billing a client and the interns are helping you with that. If they've proven themselves 6 months on the job, maybe you can give them a percentage of what you're billing out to the client. So that's just one idea. Um, but I think you're at a point, if you do have two and you've got a large project, it's time you can hire another intern. To help you if you feel like the intern can help you manage them. And it's really at this age, meaning students in college, most of them still need to be managed, but you will find some great A player interns who are self-motivated, self-starters, don't need a lot of direction, and could easily step into that role. So I would just say try it out. I would obviously the first thing first, if there's one of those interns that you think you would like to promote, ask them if they want to do it. They might not. They might not want to have that responsibility given, lots of different things, just like you and I would have on our plate at any given time. And then obviously, before you can promote them, you're going to need to find another intern to replace them. So, okay. So, uh, Christopher, so you're still having challenges finding interns. You've posted to various sites using our templates, not getting any response at all. Total of one. Submitted to 8 different universities. A couple of them replied they don't offer unpaid interns, even though they're listed in the database as being allowed. Also want to discuss something else as well on the phone. So, and then I love, this is great. So you're still not having any luck, but you did get a call from an intern coordinator that said our posting was the best they'd ever seen. That's awesome, Christopher. So you're not the first person who's had some roadblocks in the beginning. I would like to know where you've been posting, what schools. You said you've posted to a couple of websites, what type of intern you're looking for, when you started posting. All of those things do play a big part. So first thing first, I'm assuming you posted to internships.com. I hope you haven't posted any of well, I shouldn't say that because some of these folks are our friends and colleagues, but before I suggest people go out and pay a site to recruit interns for them, that they try out what we recommend are the free sites and going directly to colleges and universities. Christopher, tell me what kind of intern you're looking for, because that might help me to give you some tips on changing your strategy. And tell me, I would like to know the schools that you said are on our database that said they accept unpaid interns, but are in fact not. If you have that information, if you can send that over to me, because I would like to follow up, because obviously we want our database to be accurate. And I find it surprising that there are 8 that now say unpaid. Um, Things have changed, but not drastically. In the marketplace, unpaid internships are very common still. So it might be, I'm going to take a stab at this, Christopher, because I haven't seen you add anything new. If you can type in that you might be looking for example, an engineering student or something, and they don't usually do unpaid interns because they're very in high demand. So, okay, so you're going to look, you know what, Christopher, you can send that to me later. Don't waste your time right now. Tell me the universities that said no to unpaid interns, because I want to know that so I can make sure we have everything updated, and I'll call the schools myself to get clarity. So just if you want to email that over to us, support@internprofits.com after the call, I would appreciate that, just from helping the rest of the community out. And I'll do some follow-up myself. So you're looking for web developers, social media, Kendall. Kendall's a little bit vague, so I don't know. Let's start with web developers. Students who have the skills to be a web developer generally do not work for free. You are correct, and the schools will tell you that. They are in high demand. They know they can get internships where people will pay them, especially if they're any good. So you're probably not going to get a web developer intern for free. I'd be shocked if you could. Social media, those are a dime a dozen. Everybody wants to do social media, and if you haven't gotten any applicants for social media, the websites are 8 schools. I'm shocked, because that's the one that I have postings on internships.com from a year ago, and I just got an applicant last week for that position. I'm not hiring for that position right now, but I leave my postings up, because there's no point in taking them down, because you never know, last minute you might say, you know what, I could use that kind of intern. So I'm shocked on the social media. Kendall, I don't know what are you posting, I don't know what your job description is. Kendall, that's really vague, and most students would have no clue what that is. So are you asking for somebody to help you write? So if you want somebody to help you write a book, you can find tons of interns to help you with writing a book. Okay, so you used our Amazon Kindle job description. So that, I was about to say, we have one on there about writing a book. We have there's one that's Amazon Kindle book one. There's other ones on, was recruiting an intern to help me write a childhood obesity one. You can find lots of students interested in writing out there. Graphic design, you should be able to find, again, if anybody who's good at graphic design, a lot of times they want to be paid, but if you're just looking for specifically a graphic design student to intern from you, and you're not in a space where you're doing a lot of graphic design, I just recommend you go to 99 Designs or Fiverr to get graphics done, because you're going to get it done very quickly. 99 Designs specifically, you're going to get lots of options. And if it's a one-off project, then I wouldn't do a graphic design intern. And that's for everybody on this call. There are interns out there who need graphic design experience, but unless your company specifically works with clients and you need new graphics designed on an ongoing basis, or you're launching a new product and you need different graphics for different, a huge report, et cetera, then maybe it's worth hiring a full-time graphic design intern. But generally, I wouldn't hire an intern to do that. Your interns are paid on a per commission basis. What are some other good incentives to offer interns? My business is not profitable quite yet. First of all, you may not be getting any applications because you told me you were looking for unpaid interns, but yet you're telling me you're paying them on a commission basis. Oh, sorry, I've just messed this up. Callan. I'm going to come back to that. That was Callan. I thought that was Christopher. So, okay, so Christopher, I just thought that. All right, Christopher, so you're looking for web developers, social media, people to help you promote a Kindle book? Either are you wanting them to write it or promote it? And graphic design. I addressed the graphic design. I would not hire an intern just to do graphic design unless specifically you have lots of clients that need graphic design help. Web developers, you can find interns, but they're most likely going to be paid internships because of their skill set. Social media, I'm shocked that you can't find somebody. And if the Kindle project is to actually find somebody to help you write, I'm also surprised. Both of those we get a lot of interest in, both on internships.com and directly with the schools. So if you've approached schools, you've obviously called them because you're telling me they say that you can't do an unpaid internship. Are you, I would like to know where you're located and where you're recruiting interns from. Are you looking for virtual interns, in-office interns? Give me a little more information, Christopher, and then I can continue this discussion because we obviously want you to be successful. Okay, so Callan has followed up. I'm going to, Christopher, I'm going to come back to you in just a minute because I've got a couple people with follow-ups too. So Callan, my interns are paid on a per commission basis. What are some other good incentives to offer to interns? My business is not profitable quite yet. So Callan, you have unpaid interns, and if they help you with a sale, then they get a commission. I'm wondering if are you a local SEO company? I'm just going to guess that from the conversation, but I don't know. You know, your real estate. Okay. Well, that one is obviously going to be because the only time you make money is when you actually sell a piece of real estate or you cash flow from a rental. So, are you wanting to you're trying to incentivize the intern? Really, the intern they're there to learn. So I would have incentives for them based on learning more. So take them to your local RIA meeting. I assume you're recruiting most of the time for real estate interns. You're going to recruit an intern that is living in the marketplace that you want to invest in. So we had a virtual intern at one point in our real estate business who was living in Pennsylvania, but we were looking to buy real estate in Pennsylvania. So we had him on the ground doing the work for us. So I would incentivize him by, taking him to educational opportunities, your local RIA. That, for those who aren't in real estate, it's a real estate investing networking meetings. I would incentivize them taking them to lunch, including them in any training that you're on yourself. If you're hiring them just to go out and help you bird dog deals, obviously the only thing you can incentivize them is for commissions based on them helping you find uh, a deal, a piece of property for you to buy. So there's other ways you can incentivize them, but uh, most people are there to learn, and if they're learning, they're going to want to work with you. And it sounds like from our previous conversation, Callan, that you've got a star player who was interested in managing other interns. So really for your business model, commissions is really the only way I see tangible based on their work product. But I would incentivize them by just making them a bigger part of your team, including them in educational opportunities. If they do something great, if they generate a great lead, go out, have a dinner with them, do something to make them feel like they've really been successful. Okay, Christopher, so you're just hiring virtual interns, which is fine. Are you recruiting from all over the country? Where are you recruiting your interns from, Chris? So we can keep trying to help you. So you're recruiting everywhere. How did you pick the schools you were recruiting from? Were you just going through our database and pick them based on students who were in marketing? I want to make sure you're picking the right schools. It sounds like you've obviously done your homework. So I'm assuming you have. You know what, Chris, I'm going to take this offline and I am going to give you a call later and just find out, because this is more difficult than that. Or let me get everybody else's questions answered. If we have time, I may just open it up where we can chat here because it's a learning experience for everybody. So give us some time. Let me make sure I get everybody else answered, and then we're going to problem solve with you, Chris. Okay. Okay, so Greg says, for a real estate intern, can you offer commission, flat fee or percent, and avoid employee status? If so, do you offer it as unpaid, then offer bonus idea, or do you offer it as a paid internship? Well, schools don't like any paid internships based on commissions because it's a sales job, and we don't really like sales jobs as internships because they're not trained. Sales is a very difficult profession, and very few people can do it well, and they need a lot of training. So internships in sales, we discourage you from doing that. However, in real estate, it's always you don't make money until you find a deal. So if you have an intern out helping you do marketing, they're trolling Craigslist, they're looking for deals, and they actually help you find a deal, and you actually close on it and you make some money. Yeah, you should offer them a flat fee or a percentage of it, and it can be an incentive once you get them on board. But do not advertise your internship as paid. You will have problems in so many ways, especially if you say it's paid, but it's commission-based payment. You're not getting an hourly salary. We recommend you do is say it's an unpaid internship. Here are all the things you're going to be doing. Make the job description sound exciting, that they were going to learn a lot about how real estate investing works and how real estate works, all the opportunities they're going to get. And then during the interview, and once you hire them, say, we've hired you for an unpaid internship. If in fact, from the work that you've done, we are able to buy and sell a piece of property or buy and have a cash flow property, we will give you a percentage of or a flat fee on these because it is an incentive. But do not advertise that as a paid internship. It's just not going to. You're not going to get an intern. Schools aren't going to like it. You can probably advertise that very easily on Craigslist. This is for real estate only people. Would I tell you to do that on Craigslist? Because there's a lot of people that want to learn about real estate. They're not traditional interns from colleges and universities, and that would work there. But otherwise, I would highly recommend you not advertise in that manner. Mike says, now that Christmas is over, what's the next best date before summer to hire a college or high school intern for internet marketing, video editing, and production, WordPress setup and maintenance? It's always a good time to hire an intern. Here's what I would tell you to do. Obviously, we've got summer coming up. A lot of A-player interns already have their summer internship, if you can believe that. A lot of big business, corporate America recruit summer interns at fall career fairs at colleges and universities on campus. So the Googles, the large consulting firms, they're all on campus recruiting a lot of paid interns, those web developers we were talking about, etc. That doesn't mean everyone has their summer internship lined up. It's really the finance students, the engineering students. Those are the kind of students who've already been pretty much locked and loaded for summer internships. I would get your postings out now. I would contact colleges and universities, which you all know is our favorite place for you to go. I would go ahead, contact a couple schools, find out if they've got the students that you're looking for, post your job description, make sure your job description is in line with the school, make sure you've filled out your online profile. Christopher, I'll go back to you because this is a point I should have made with you. If you've submitted to college and universities, and I think it sounds like you've talked to the college and universities, when you call them back up and say, why hasn't my job description gotten any traction, and get some feedback from them. Maybe there's an online, maybe you haven't completed your profile for the school, or maybe you haven't completed your profile completely with internships.com. I will tell you, as a side note, I went to the University of Virginia, and we recruited from there for about a year and a half. I got one resume and nothing came of it. It was not a good fit. It's not an entrepreneurial school. It's not an internet marketing school. It's not it's a school that people graduate and they go into finance, consulting, government, nonprofit. So we stopped recruiting from my alma mater, and it was very, I was angry. I was frustrated. This is my own school, and I couldn't find any students from there. So we just stopped recruiting. Not every school is going to be a good fit for your business model, and there aren't going to be students there that want to do what you do. Now, Justin went to Penn State, and they have studies and articles have come out, one of the best entrepreneurial programs there. So they have lots of students who want to be entrepreneurs. They really have worked to have that as a big part of the school. It's also 4 times the school, my university. It's a massive school, so the recruiting there was easier. You're getting in front of a lot more students. So we have a great relation with Penn State. We have a lot of students we get from there. So it doesn't always work. Even though I tried to make it work with my own alma mater, it didn't. So make sure you're confirming that your job description matches what most students are looking for there. And I had even called out, obviously, in the business we're in, I had a relationship with the Career Services Center there, and they looked over everything and they said it looked fine, but it just wasn't appealing to those students. So anyway, Mike, long story short, just start recruiting now. Students are looking for summer internships now. Some students might even have a light load, and they might even start working for you now with the assumption that they'll be working for you full time in the summer. We had a couple students who did that. They came on before the summer and they worked a couple hours a week just to get their feet wet, get to know the company, so that when they did start working in the summer, they were working full time and they didn't have the learning curve was over. They'd already gone through all of our trainings. They'd already understood how our processes and systems worked in the company. And so they really got down and got their work done in the summer. So um, get out there, start recruiting, contact some schools. I don't know if you're having students that you want to come to your office, or if you're having virtual interns, because if they're going to be coming to your office and you're recruiting, you've got schools in your own hometown that you're recruiting from, they might think they're going to go back home and get an internship and then see your internship and like it. So they might need to start thinking about where they're going to live this summer, etc. So yeah, if you want summer interns, recruit now. Um, If you pay a bonus like that on an intern or Craigslist and word gets out to the college, isn't that a good thing or not? If so, obviously, if you get a reputation for paying bonuses, wouldn't you get a lot of interns? Is this at all a problem? What is your suggestion if it occurs? Well, it's a great problem to have that you did pay a bonus to an intern because they did a great job. You're in real estate, and real estate's a very difficult market. The chances of you having 4 or 5 interns that bring you 4 or 5 deals every semester, if you have that happen to you, then that's great. If word gets out that you paid a commission to an intern who was an unpaid intern because they did a great job, it should get out. It should say this is a stand up business. They pay people they reward people for work well done, but you have unpaid interns. That's what you have. And if somebody goes above and beyond the call of duty, then you're going to pay them a bonus. It's great. It's fine. I just, based on a commission basis, do not advertise that as a paid internship. Legally, from a marketing perspective to the schools, especially if you go into the schools, they're just no one's going to apply to that internship. If it's unpaid and then you tell them, if you bring me a deal and we close on it and we'll pay you a commission, I think is the best way to go on that. And absolutely, word gets out that you're a great company to work for. You learn a lot there. If you do a really good job, you might get paid a commission. That's an awesome thing to happen, and that's why we tell you to go get relationships with colleges and universities, because word does get out, and you're going to get an intern. That we get Penn State interns all the time that way, because we've been referred students by other students because students have had a great opportunity with us. So yeah, that's exactly what we're teaching you. Create relationships, give great internships, whether you pay them a commission or not. Give them a great opportunity. Be a great mentor, and you're going to get more interns that are going to want to come work with you. Okay, when you do pay a bonus or commission, does your intern agreement cover that, or do you 1099 them? So I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant. Um, I do understand and know this area, but I am going to give the disclaimer that you need to consult your accountant for the 1099. They've changed a lot of the rules this year. We're in the process of going through that. And you are supposed to issue a 1099 to individuals that you pay over $600, and any company over 20,000 is the new rule. But even the IRS is confused. My poor bookkeeper has gone round and round about who do we have to issue a 1099. So I'm not going to comment on that from a hard and fast rule of this is how it works. That is a question for your um, accountant for the 1099, because the rules have changed this year. So it's very confusing. Um, Our intern agreement, when you pay a commission, does it cover that? Again, I'm not an attorney, but our intern agreement says that it's an unpaid internship. The intern understands that they will not be paid. The agreement is it's an unpaid internship. There's no guarantee of any payment. The internship agreement says your internship lasts from January 1st to June 1st. So it sets out some guidelines in the agreement so that people understand they have an unpaid internship and there's no guarantee of payment. So if you pay them a bonus or commission, it's outside of the agreement. I don't think anybody's going to have a legal problem with you paying somebody a bonus or commission as long as you didn't guarantee that at the outset of the internship. I hope that makes sense. The big thing you need to be worried about or concerned about is that you have an agreement that it's unpaid and the intern understands it's unpaid. There's no guarantee of employment. There's no guarantee of any commissions based on, performance. There's no guarantee. And it has a finite beginning and end date. Those are the big three sticking points. And obviously that it's an educational opportunity, which we all know. That's why you have intern profits, is because we help you educate your interns. So it's outside of the agreement, and we have paid our interns bonuses and commissions in the past, but they were always hired as unpaid interns. Okay, so Callan says, what's the maximum amount of interns a business owner should have at one time? I have enough work to go around. What was the most interns that you and Justin had at one time? So it's interesting. I get this question quite a bit, and I would tell you that everybody is different, and some people can manage 3 people well, some people can manage 10 people well, and some people can't manage people at all. So it really doesn't matter how big your business is. It doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is that you have enough work to hire additional interns. So you don't want interns sitting around doing nothing. So if you have enough work to hire more interns, then hire more interns, but hire them one at a time and see how you do managing them. We give you systems and processes so that you can manage more interns. For example, ways to stay in touch with the interns, ways to make sure that they're understand when I do one-on-one consulting calls with you guys, I always say, never give a task to an intern without knowing what the purpose and the outcome is for you so that you can articulate that clearly to the intern so they can give you the outcomes that you're expecting from that project. So only hire as many interns as you feel comfortable hiring, and that you have enough work to hire. So it really varies based on personal, your ability to juggle, how much is on your plate. Justin and I, you asked how many have we had at any time. The most we've ever had is 7 at any given time. And that's when we were launching Intern Profits. And we had a lot of stuff going on, and we had a lot of things for them to be working on, more than any of us could do at any given time. But we feel like personally now, we only like to have probably comfortably 2 interns each. And we've scaled back on our interns lately because we have been focusing on other things. When we've only had 1 intern working with us, because the projects we're working on right now don't require us to have a lot of interns on board. So we scale up and down based on what we're doing. But for us personally, I don't really like to manage more than 2 or 3 interns because I also have all my contractors, my bookkeepers, my accountants, my property managers. We have a lot of people we manage on a daily basis outside of our interns. So it'll depend on how many other people do you have working for you. And I don't mean employees. I mean people that are doing work for you outside of, you might have a consultant, and even though you're paying them, you still want to manage to make sure that you're getting the results that you've paid for. If you have contractors, you've got to manage them on a daily basis. Couple things that are in the course, but I'll touch on those from just a management perspective because this is really how do you manage effectively a lot of people. You need project management software can be really helpful. We use FreshBooks. It's in the course if you want to go and have a look at what it is. And it's just a ticketing system. So instead of me emailing back and forth with my contractors, I put in a ticket. And this works really well with our graphic designers and our web developers because then we have record of what did we do on that website, what are the logins, et cetera. And it's a secure website that we put the tickets in. We don't use that with no, Christopher, it's not FreshDesk. We use FreshBooks is what we use. I can show you guys. if you're not familiar with, second, can't seem to. So we use FreshBooks, and it works really well for our ticketing system. Um, see, we have a system that we use that's ours. So this is our ticketing, and then our we use this with our graphic designer and some of our interns. And then with our web developer, he has his own. So it's just, this is, to me, of all the ticketing systems, I find this one works for us and it's easier. You can see we've got so many different websites and projects that we're working on. I'm also working with somebody and we use Basecamp. It's another project management, and Basecamp, we use the client I'm working with, we use Basecamp, and we also use Google Docs because you pay more. Basecamp has, you can upload documents. Same with FreshBooks. I can upload a document to a ticket. I don't want to go on the tickets because some of these are clients. It's obviously their privacy is important. I'm not going to go on Basecamp because this is my client that I'm working on something and he uses Basecamp. It's a great way to manage a lot of people on a project. So Callan, I think you had mentioned, well, I have 2 interns. I want to hire another intern. It would be a way to make sure all 3 interns were on the same page instead of just using email, because email gets lost, email doesn't get sent, etc. So project management software is really good. The other thing that I would mention is we talk about in our course and information, and we use this in our business, is the daily email. So anytime anybody who works for us works on a project, they send us an email. We call it the daily email, and really no one who works for us works on a daily basis except for our customer service representatives and some of our property managers, because it's just the nature of their business. And they send us an email each day that they work on a project or our business or something for us that says, number 1 is what they did today and the results they got. Number 2, any problems or concern, any problems they had. And number 3, any questions they might have for us. So from an intern's perspective, since we're talking strictly about interns right now, is I want to know what they worked on that day. Did they work on anything? What projects were they working on? Did they have any problems? Because they might not have been able to get in touch with me. We have interns working on the East Coast and we're on the West Coast. So sometimes when they're working, we're asleep, and vice versa. So if they didn't IM me, if they didn't email me, if they didn't text me, they didn't call me with any problems they faced, it's a way for us to work through any problems they have. So they had, a problem accessing the database. Well, what was the problem? Let's work through it. Any questions? Well, they might have a question of, I need to turn something into my advisor. Can you fill out this form? So we stay in constant contact on a daily basis. This is in addition to anything they might have posted in FreshBooks if they're working on a project that we have in FreshBooks. In addition to any emails that we had, it's just a recap of what they did. And then with our interns, we track the hours that they worked. And we recommend that you do that. So there's 2, they tell us how long they worked that day. And that's important because if they say, well, I worked on this social media project and we thought it should take them 15 minutes and the research that we had them doing took them 2 hours, something's wrong. We've communicated incorrectly with the intern. We've not told them how to do it properly, or they just didn't understand. So it's a way for us to level set and say, well, and this could happen, they're not telling you, they're saying they spent this time, but they really didn't. They spent 15 minutes. You can tell by the work product that they only really spent 15 minutes or half an hour. So it's just a way to manage them and keep track of what they're doing. We also ask them to tell us the cumulative hours they've worked. So that way, you have an intern, a lot of times they'll be working for you 150 hours. So you know how many hours you have left in the project. So if you have a really large project, you can manage them and know that you're going to have to hire another intern, or how can you make sure they complete the project for both yourself and for them so they have something to put on their resume. So it's just a level set. For some of our other contractors, we have them track other statistics. So for example, we have a commercial real estate property. We want to know every single day how many vacancies we've had, how many people are behind on their rent. We want to know, lots of different statistics on a daily basis that she tracks for us now. So It's just a great way. That daily email really, really will help you manage and to manage effectively, efficiently, and things don't get left behind. And if we answer any email, anything, a lot of times your inbox will be full. I always, those are my priority emails, is just make sure I know what the people working with me are doing and how I can help them to be more successful, because obviously I'm going to be more successful. So, long-winded answer, Callan, is only hire as many interns as you feel comfortable managing, or you have someone else on your staff that can help manage. Um, let's see. So, okay, so Greg is following up on the bonus structure question. Suppose instead of a bonus, you run two interns doing something, promoting seminars via social media or other ways as the actual internship work. Promote seminar individually in two different towns as an example. Can you offer a bonus to the interns for either who gets the most attendees or who gets the most success, deals, or sales? Absolutely, you can do all of that, Greg, and it's a great way to get interns excited about what they're doing and incentivize them. And contests, people are competitive, so they will, it's human nature, will work harder if they know that if I do this, then I might actually win a contest or might make money, etc. So you can do that. But again, you can't advertise this is a paid internship if all you're going to do is say you get paid if you win this contest between the other intern. It's just not within the unpaid internship. It does not work, and it will get you into trouble, and it's not technically a paid internship. So my only feedback is that's great, that's awesome, and we encourage you to compensate your interns as much as possible. Um, so do that, but if you're not going to pay them, let's just say, for if you work for me 150 hours, I'll pay you uh, $1,500, right? So unless you know definitively what the pay is going to be from the outset, or you're going to pay them minimum wage per hour that they work, then you can't advertise as paid. That's the only sticking point that I would tell you there. But yeah, all of that is great. Incentivize your interns. Just don't advertise that they're paid internships, because they're not. If you're just giving them a commission based on um, good work, then it's not a paid internship. Um, Chris says, what have you found to be best practices for social media interns and the number of accounts that they manage? I know it'll depend on an intern skill set, but what have you found to be best in your business? Chris, we only have interns work on one niche website topic at a time. So let's just say, I'm not sure what your business model is. I don't think I've figured that one out yet from our conversations. We have a ton of websites. We are in the intern space, we're in the real estate space, in both informational, and we actually have a lead generation website where we help other real estate investors get online leads. We have, uh, you know, some personal interests. Justin, as you guys know, if you paid any attention, wrote a book on how to deep fry turkey. So we had interns in that. So we don't really cross pollinate the niches, and especially because you might find interns who want to do social media but have no interest in doing social media for real estate. They find it boring, but they might love doing social media in the intern space. So we generally have recruit interns to do specific tasks for specific business model and businesses. We don't have them work on 5 Facebook pages for 5 different topics, because I think it would be difficult. Now you've clarified that you're a marketing agency. Because of that, you obviously will hire interns who want to do marketing for marketing interns, and they might want to be a marketing consultant like yourself. So I would, just as a rule of thumb, generally try to recruit interns to just work on one client in the beginning and see how they do. If they seem like they could probably juggle more than one client, you just want to make sure, because of the nature of social media, that they're not signed into the Facebook account for um, well, I'll just use some of our businesses for how to deep fry turkey, and they're posting where's the best place to find interns to the turkey fryer Facebook page. People have, human nature is that could very easily happen. It's even the most could happen to me. There's obviously software out there that can help you manage that with your interns better. But until you hire the intern, hire them to do help you with one of your clients, and then if there's not enough work, if they've proven themselves, then you could have them work on several different social media sites. So okay, so Chris, actually, let me see. Jane, you want to use your training and your foundation. You want to use our training with your foundation, is what I'm hearing. I hope you're still on the line, Jane. Jane, if you can send me an email, let's have a conversation this week offline about that. Obviously, we would love for more people to use our training. So we just need to talk about how that would work and how it would play out with the people that you're working with. So send me an email and some times that you're available to have a quick call this week, and we'll work on that. Do we have any more questions? Because Chris, I think I'm going to give you a call. We'll need to find a time to talk because I want to find out what the problem here is. If you're a marketing agency, I'm shocked you're not finding interns, virtual interns. So we need to troubleshoot that because I find it surprising. So what I'll have you do, Chris, is I'm actually going to give you my personal email. It's Dreama, Dreama, at internprofits.com. Shoot me an email. Tell me when you're available to talk. And also, please send over all the job descriptions that you've submitted. Obviously, you got feedback that they were great, but I just want to have a look and have an idea before we talk. And if you can, let me know what the schools that you've already tried to contact and the websites that you've already submitted to, because all of that's really good background for me to know what you're doing. That will help me. Again, send me your number, send me times that we can chat. Generally, the mornings I have more time. I don't even know where you're located, but I'm in the Pacific time zone. So early mornings easier for me to set aside some time. So just if you can pick some times early this week in the morning. Same with you, Jane. Just send me an email and let me know a good time to talk. Okay, so Kellen's followed up. What are ways to keep my internship test exciting, considering that different things excite different people? It's giving them new things to work on. I mean, let's face it, everything that you do in your business is not exciting. I can tell you that these calls are probably one of the favorite things that I do because I actually get to talk to real people and I'm not sitting behind a computer. And I actually like when you guys become full members of Intern Profits. I like getting on the phone with you for 30 minutes and hearing about your business. But Justin, that's not what he likes doing. He likes the marketing. So we're all different, and that's where you divide and conquer. So how do you excite your interns? These students are just learning what they do and don't like. They don't even know if they want to do marketing. That's why they're taking an internship. They don't know if they want to do real estate. That's why they're taking an internship. So you have to just you have to provide them with fun and exciting projects to work on, which is why we have the easy intern assignments because they're pretty appealing to most students. But keep in mind that, work is work. You still have to do some things that aren't as exciting. The way to keep them excited is to include them. Like, you wouldn't believe how much it means to an intern if you have an intern that's working in your office and you take them on a lunch with you with a business client. And obviously, you want to make sure that you feel like the person is capable of presenting themselves as you would in the business meeting, but bringing them along for a business meeting, letting them take them to lunch with you, take them to a conference. We took all of our interns to a huge party in San Diego, and it was great. They had fun. We took them all out for a really nice meal. At the time, we had a bunch of interns in San Diego. They were all working virtually, but some of them we hadn't met till that evening, but we got to know them. We took them to dinner. We knew them over the phone, we knew them through Skype, etc., but not physically meet them. So, there's different ways to get your intern excited. If you have a way to interact with them, if they're virtual in some way, including them in bigger meetings in some way where they're observing, they're taking notes, they're listening. That is the way to excite them. Obviously, commissions, bonuses, getting them excited. But to be honest, we've offered that in the past, and I would tell you that that doesn't get them as excited as including them in larger discussions letting them be a part of bigger things. And they might just be silent observers, but I find that it's amazing what motivates people and what makes people excited. And for a student, especially somebody, a traditional intern that's still in school, they've never probably been a part of a meeting like that. If your interns are virtual, it's obviously a little more difficult to excite them on a one-to-one personal basis, taking them to a meeting. But include them. Let them go on a training if you have any online training. Let them be a part of I don't, any kind of training that you have access to. Give it to them. Let them be a part of it. Um, any way that you can be more inclusive, I think, is a way to incentivize and get them excited in your business, and not just go do this task. Um, have them be a part of your business. I think that really it has, and for us, it really has helped in the past. If you can afford it, if you're going to a conference somewhere, bring them along. It's a great way to engage them and obviously educate them. So those are just some other ideas. It doesn't really always have to be overthought. It can just be a simple thing. If you have let's say, Chris, you're in marketing. Let's just say you have a marketing client. They're all virtual, and you have a conference call with them. If you feel comfortable, that the client would be comfortable to say, hey, Joe or Susie, client, I have my intern here with me today. She's just going to sit in and listen because, I'm mentoring her and I want her to see what some of my calls are like when I'm coaching you guys on your marketing and giving you marketing ideas. She's just going to be taking notes. Are you okay with that? And everyone's going to say, great. And the other thing is, from your client's perspective, they're going to be pretty impressed that you are trying to mentor somebody as well. So it not only will it benefit your intern a lot, but your clients will be quite impressed. Same with if you're doing, um, working with local businesses. Take the intern with you. Let them be a part of the actual real day to day. Don't just put them on mindless tasks that you just don't want to do. They can help you with that, but let them be a part of some of the bigger stuff. And that's a really, really great way to get them excited about your business. Um, all right. So, do we have any more questions? We've been on for about an hour. I'm happy to stay if there's any more questions. If you guys have anything else, Chris and Jane, send me an email. Let me know when we can chat and I can help you more. Again, we have a webinar on Thursday. If you're interested in doing daily deals, I hope you are, just to learn more about how it works. And especially those of you who are in marketing, how you might be able to help your own clients out with it. And those who have your own business, how it could be something else you add to your arsenal. And then again, we want feedback on what you need. We don't want to provide trainings that aren't useful to you. So anything that you can let us know that you need help with, that's what we're here to do. And I guess I don't see any more questions coming in. I guess I'll just do a last call. And if not, that'll be it for today. And we'll try to do this again in probably another month or 6 weeks. I think it's been a really good sweet spot for you guys. I think you all have great questions, and we have a really good engaging conversations and learning opportunities on both sides. I learned a lot about your businesses and how we can help you more. So thanks for everyone for coming today. And anybody else, I don't know. We get this. We've been getting this feedback a lot. Is that we're very open and responsive if you have questions, and I hope that you all feel that way that are on the call today. But if you have colleagues that are part of our community, or they should be a part of our community, please let them know. And I try to answer questions as quickly as possible. And if I don't know the answer, or I don't know how to help you, I try to find ways to help you. So you can contact us on Facebook. LinkedIn is a great. We have groups on LinkedIn. Obviously, email us at support. I just gave everybody my personal email address today, so email me personally at dreama@internprofits.com. I do try to respond as quickly as possible. All right, so Callan says, hold on, you've got one more question. So shoot, Callan, and then we're going to wrap this up. So I think Callan has another question, so I'm going to see if that comes in. Yeah, guys, just keep at it. I want to know how well everybody is doing out there with their interns and how we can help you more. So, Callan, are you going to last call for the question? I want to keep everybody on the line. So, I don't see it coming in. So, folks, I don't want to keep you. What we'll do is we'll do this again. And I hope everybody got something out of this, and we will chat soon. Thanks, everybody, for showing up, and we'll. Oh, oh, there we go. It came in. All right, Callan. Um, Okay, being that I'm the only person, so he's a solopreneur, and all of his interns are virtual. How do I make the internship as real as possible? Kellen, all of our interns have been virtual, and we train you through our training modules of how to make it as real of an internship as possible. I did just give you some examples of how we've had face-to-face interfaces with our interns, to make it more incentivized and really get to know the interns. And there is a value in having an intern in your office, but likewise, we've had so many interns have great experiences with us. um, I mentioned our intern Mike, that we saw him last week. We had never met him until a year ago. He graduated from college, started his own business, and we were both at the same conference that we were at last weekend. I guess it was 2 weekends ago now. He had a great internship. He decided he wanted to be an entrepreneur. He decided he was going to get into internet marketing and local search marketing. So he had a great experience, even though he wasn't in our office and we'd never personally met him until a year ago, and he hadn't worked for us for a year and a half when we met him. So how did we do that? We had contact with him, just as we do with anybody who ever works with us. Just because they're an intern doesn't mean that you don't have to have the interface, the conversations, the day-to-day management that you would with anybody else on your team. Just because you're not paying somebody doesn't mean that you don't need to manage them just like you would manage anybody else that you bring on. You've taken the time to hire them. You've taken the time to set aside projects that they're working on. You want them to be successful, because if they're successful, you'll be successful, and they will feel like they had a real internship. They'll have projects that they've completed that they can put on their resume. They'll feel like they've been a part of your company. They will be incentivized because they're going to see that they've created results in your company. That's why I mentioned the purpose and outcomes. That's how you make it as real as possible. Because let's face it, you can be an intern and show up to someone's office every day, and the reality is all you've done the entire time you were there. And this happens with a lot of big corporate companies, and I used to work in the government, and this happened in the government, is that you answered the phones when the assistant was using the bathroom or going to get her lunch, and you got coffee and you sat in on a couple meetings, but you didn't actually do anything. In Intern Profits, we teach you how to give your interns tangible tasks that they can complete a project from the beginning to the end, hopefully, and put that on the resume, that not only did they intern at XYZ company, but here are the things that they actually did. They helped take your Twitter followers from 5 to 5,000. They helped put together a marketing plan for a Fortune 500 company because it's one of your clients, and this is the role that they played. And then when they go into that interview for their next job, they can actually talk about real work that they did. And that's how you make an internship as real as possible. It's not about having them in your office 24/7. You can include them, and it's a virtual world. You have a virtual Skype conversation with a client, include them in the conversation. Let them be a part of it. Like I said, I gave you tips on just let your client know that they're there and that you're mentoring this person and they're just here to learn. Is it okay? Obviously, client confidentiality, you can have them sign. If you're working with clients, have them sign a waiver that it's a non-compete waiver. Anything that you need them to sign to make it more appropriate, just include them, give them real work that they can show on their resume, that they can feel like they've accomplished something. That's really how to make it as real as possible. It's not about where they sit and what they do. I would say that virtual internships are more real than on-site internships in a lot of ways, and we're big advocates for it, because you can't really have an intern virtually unless you actually give them real work to work on, because them coming to your office is sometimes just a waste of time. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes you guys clearer um, on how that works. So anyway, I think that's it. I think we've covered everything. I appreciate everybody coming on, and that's it. Have everybody have a great week, and we'll talk soon.